What's going on, Falcon fans? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Yes, guys, I am back. I haven't seen you since the bye week. It's been a long time, and a lot has happened. Falcons went on a four-game losing streak. Um, and as the topic says here, the Falcons had to go ahead and start Michael Penix era early because of what Kirk Cousins has shown on tape these last 5 games. We're definitely going to get into that. But guys, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. Um, we're going to get into some Falcon football today. You know, this is the home stretch. Falcons still have opportunity. Then they got a couple opportunities maybe to get into the playoffs. But of course, they're going to need help. We just know how that all pans out in the end. So, guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button. So I know you guys out here that talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come and hear me talk about. That's right, these Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, I've been away for a minute, so I'm sorry about that. But let's get into the first topic of the night. The first topic of the night is just the roster moves. The Falcons still had to make some roster moves. We got 3 games left. One of the roster moves that they had to make was to have to put Troy Anderson on the IR. Um, that's not really good for him. He's been injured the last 2 seasons. So when you think about the injuries that's transpiring for Troy Anderson, a guy who's already what's going on, Kevin? A guy who's already, was coming in to try to fill a linebacker role. He was kind of raw talent there, but to be out, 2 consecutive seasons with season-ending injuries, it's not good for him. He does have one more season, on the contract, so we'll see how it pan out for him. But Troy Anderson going down again, it's really not good for the Atlanta Falcons. We got to have a rookie. J.D. Bertrand is coming in, filling that role. They also activated Woods last game as well from the practice squad to bring him in. But, with Troy Anderson going on the injury reserve, they was able to bring Rook Aurora back, our second-round pick from this year, who had been out for the last 5 weeks due to ankle injury. So he's back as well. So, that's good to have him back. So we love to see, roster moves. We bring in a run rookie back who showed flashes before he went out, before he took that injury. That was huge for Rook. So having Rook back, he actually made a huge play in the Raiders game as well. Maybe he can make some more plays down the stretch. Defense is definitely playing a whole lot better. Unfortunately, our offense has not, and that's why we just snapped a 4-game winning losing streak, almost 5. If you watched that game, I know if you guys watched it like me, one of the most embarrassing games from our team, because that team's trying to lose. We know the Raiders, and just like this weekend, the New York Giants, they're trying to tank. Of course, they're not going to just go blatant and go out and say it, but sending some of their best players out, for season ending injuries per se, and not starting their best quarterback with the Giants, things like that. You just kind of figure out that they're trying to they're not going to just lay an egg, but they're not trying to completely go out there and win a game. So that was really embarrassing Monday night, just watching that game. But at the same time, when you're thinking about Rook, what he was able to do was really good. So Anderson going out, Rook coming in. Another update is Young Wei Koo. Hopefully it was the injury to make him miss so many field goals this year. But they finally put him on IR. He's done for the season, even if the Atlanta Falcons do make the playoffs, because the player has to be out on 4 regular season games, on the IR before they can come back, since there's only 3 left. So he's done. So the Atlanta Falcons was able to bring in a guy they had been bringing in on the practice squad, Riley Patterson. I don't know a whole lot about him, so hopefully he's an accurate kicker. We'll definitely find out, because we're going to probably need him down the stretch these last 3 games to see if he can make some field goals. I mean, he got to be more consistent. Koo has been this season, but hopefully the injury, what was causing Koo, I think it was a hip injury, something like that, that's the case, that's fine. But he needs to regroup, or they need to go ahead and find a new kicker. You know, that's just not. It was just definitely unlike who to miss so many field goals. Go back to the New Orleans Saints game, we probably win that game if he made those field goals. Um, he missed the field goal again on Monday night. I mean, just it's just uncharacteristic of how he been playing. So, Young Way Cool going out and Riley Patterson going in. So those are some of the injury moves. We had 9 guys on the injury list today. Most of those guys were set out for rest. It was only a couple of guys that had injuries that you might want to be concerned, but it was all limited practices. We did have a couple of guys that did not practice at all. Cardell Harsh was one of them, which was a surprise. Not being there, he with his ribs, and then of course, Casey Washington is still out with the concussion protocol. So that's interesting. Just looking at something about Casey Washington been out a minute. I think that was the last time he played was in that Denver Broncos game. When Michael Penix actually threw him a dime. Of course, he didn't catch it, but he hit the ground hard on his head and been out ever since. So they have not put him on the IR yet. So we'll see if Casey Washington can come back. Interesting thing about that is that's probably the player that Michael Penix Jr. has the most reps with is Casey Washington. Now, we know the circumstances going in with the starter, so it's going to be interesting to see how this week look with him. Bill Champion said it's going to be rough if this kicker isn't up to the job. Exactly. Like, I don't know much about him. I guess I go research and see how accurate he is in college and things like that. But I don't know a whole. I'll be honest with you. I have never heard of Riley Patterson before. So, and that's not really uncommon for kicker, but at the same time, you're right. Not being able to live up to par, man. Usually you get into a certain range of the field goal, you want to be cash money. So Kevin said he can't be much worse. Not especially not. And I won't disagree with that. I think he missed 9 kicks, man. That's terrible for a starting kicker that you just gave like 25 mil a couple of years ago. So that's not good. And hopefully it's the injury. Michael said Patterson it's accurate, but leg is max approximately by 6'2". Oh shit, that guy can kick. Okay. So Kevin said he haven't made. Yeah, Cool was bad. It's no arguing with you on that. I'm not trying to defend Cool. So I agree with you 100% on that. He was not good. So that's 100% definitely was. We're not clamoring for Cool to come back the way he played. Hopefully the injury was the issue, and we'll see if he come back 100% next year and to keep his job. But that's one position definitely competition is probably needed. Going into training camp next year, going to OTAs, mini camp, things like that. The Cool won't feel comfortable. He need to be able to live back up to that big contract that he was given by the Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, that's most of all the roster moves. So Troy is out, Koo is out, Rook is back, JD Bertrand. So we got a couple of rookies going to make some big contributions down the stretch. Not biggest one is the quarterback position, but corporate on the defensive side, JD Bertrand and Rook War are definitely going to make some contribution, hopefully. And then, like I said, injury report, not so much. Cardell Hart didn't practice today. Casey Washington practice today. Other guys was limited today, but a lot of them were just out for rest. So, like, we should, have most of the people that we expect going down to the wire this last, home stretch. Hopefully, we'll see how that pans out. So, guys, those are the roster moves for the Atlanta Falcons. Definitely getting caught back up with you guys. Let's get into the next topic. And I think this is the topic that, most people come to hear about. And we already know it's not a secret. 2 days ago, Raheem Morris announced that he was go ahead and start the Michael Penix era. All right. And I label it the Michael Penix era because the whole plan, everybody knows the plan, right? They paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. He got like $27.5 million coming towards his way next season on the cap. So it was expected for Kirk Cousins to at least be here at least 2 seasons. Going into that third season, they owe him 10 million guaranteed. But then the last season was none guaranteed. So um, it was expected for him to at least be here for at least one more year. But when you go ahead and sit him down and go ahead and start Michael Penix Jr. in a playoff race, mind you, um, that just goes to means that pretty much I think at this point in time it's sad to say that Kirk Cousins probably will not start another game for the Atlanta Falcons unless Michael Penix is get injured. So it's just the case. He is going to be the backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins, but Michael Penix era is here, guys. It's 100% here. I know a lot of you guys have been clamoring for this to happen, weeks prior before this to happen, but um, it just was not the plan. And Raheem Morris, he tried to fight it. I know everybody's getting frustrated because he kept giving the coach speak. Kirk is our guy. Kirk is our guy. He was just hoping. He was just hoping that somehow the Kirk Cousins that we have seen for 12 seasons, 13 seasons, somehow turning around. But it was just not the case, man. I think he had probably the worst 5-game stretch of his career, and it seemed like it was getting worse by the minute. That Monday night game was just really bad when you had the quarterback that we traded for, and Desmond Ritter away from the Atlanta Falcons play better than the 14-year vet. So I think the writing was on the wall. I think this had to be made. I don't think Raheem Morris had any other choice. I think if he decided to just stick in this, it will be more about loyalty, and trying to respect the veteran guy than trying to put somebody else in that could probably provide more opportunity. I mean, the things that we've seen from Kirk Cousins these last 5 weeks, it's just been a statue, seemed confused, and the biggest thing for me is the confidence. He didn't seem confident behind the line of scrimmage at all, and I think that's one of the biggest knocks when you're a 14-year vet, and you're not confident in releasing the ball, letting it goes like he was trying to be, what they call it, pulling the string, like he was double clutching. He was late on a lot of throws. He wasn't seeing the field well. And then the turnovers just mounting up, not just interception, but fumbles as well. It seemed like the defense had keyed off. They know where he was going to be. He was going to be in that spot. And if you put enough pressure on him, he was going to make a mistake. And, the last 5 games, that's exactly what transpired when you looked at a guy like Kirk Cousins. And it just was not good enough, especially for a team that still have aspirations of trying to get to the playoffs. It's yes, Michael Penix is a rookie. He's going to have his his woes as well. First start coming in a pressure game. Now he's going up against the New York Giants. I just talked about that team that's probably trying to tank, but they're not going to come out and lay an egg out. They're going to play, real good football. They're a professional team. Brian the ball, their head coach is trying to keep his job, so he's going to still, put an effort forth to try to show what this team trying to do. But we all know they need a quarterback, and they're going to probably try to make sure they can put themselves in that 1 or 2 spot to try to get the quarterback of their desire. So, but this doesn't mean that the Atlanta Falcons can come out and take these guys lightly. They need to come out. Michael Penix Jr. need to get some kind of rhythm. He need to get this offense back going to where we all thought this offense could go with a guy like Kirk Cousins. When you look at, guys like Drake London, who's going to first time in his career go over 1,000 yards. I think he's at 991. I mean 919. I think he can get over 1,000 in these next 3 games, especially with Michael Penix throwing the ball. You got Darnell Mooney's like at 873. I think he's going to be able to get over 1,000 yards. You got Bijan Robinson already over 1,000 yards. So it just goes to show you this offense, the potential of the players, that the skill set of the guys that we have on this team. We just got to be able to distribute those guys the ball. Kyle Pitts been a disappointment this year, definitely. But, fairness to him, the quarterback play has not been as good, especially these last 3 seasons for him. Go back to his first season, and I keep going and saying it. When he had Matty Ice, He went over 1,000 yards. He was a Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro tight end. He was living up to the expectations of being a guy that was drafted number 4 overall. Ever since then, the quarterback play been sketchy, but I'm not going to put it all on the quarterback. Kyle Pitts have not looked like sometimes he look disinterested. There's reports out there. Sometimes they're running rod as hard as he need. So it is not completely on the quarterback, but I do feel like he has not got the complete opportunity that he should get in this offense, especially these last 3 seasons. Sometimes it feels like he's not even. I think sometimes they should make Kyle Pitts like a first read on some of their plays, instead of being the third read or something like that. I don't know the play call, play design, but sometimes you look on the field, you see Kyle Pitts wide open, and you wonder, was he the first read, or was he third read? We're not 100% sure. But like I said, Kirk Cousins wasn't seeing the field completely as well, so you don't know. But I feel like Michael Penix have a good, set of skill players, got an outstanding offensive line, guys. We've been running the hell out the ball, and this is one of the reasons why. Another reason why Raheem Morris had to make this change, because the offensive line's been playing well. They've been protecting well. Bijan's been picking up blitz as well. The quarterback play was the issue. It just was. It even to the point where Zach Robinson decided to kind of dumb down some of the play calls to help out a veteran quarterback. I heard a lot of people talk about they're not doing some things that he used to and all this stuff. And my answer to that is he's been in the league 14 years. If you pulling up a game plan, you've been in the league 14 years, you're putting up a game plan, right? And you don't like the game plan. You've been in 14 years. I don't like that. I like this. That's how you is when you're a 14-year veteran. So that was not an excuse in my eyes for a guy who's been in the league 14 years, right? You go through off-season program, you go through all those OTAs, go through our mini camps, you go through training camp. And if you're not comfortable, after all that, has been a vet for 14 years, you need to speak up. Like, this what I like, this what I think is going to work well for me. Things that I'm strong in, the things that I do. People keep talking about play action, putting them under center. Like, I don't know if that would work for Kirk Cousins this year, right? Because his mobility seemed like it just diminished over the. I know he had the Achilles injury, but he definitely wasn't such an athletic guy before. But it seemed like it just got even worse. So those some of the things when you look at Kirk Cousins play and why this move had to be made and why the Michael Penix era started, way before the time they wanted to start, right? I mean, if you look at the contract and you look how the money's laid out, this was not the plan. And, to the detriment of the team and to the detriment maybe of the Atlanta Falcons getting the playoffs this year, this could be, Michael Penix being put in too late could actually be, the fault, because they did not want this to happen. They wanted Michael Penix to sit back and they wanted to watch a pro get the team to the playoffs, and he can learn that way. But now he's put into the fire right in the middle of a playoff run to try to get in. But it had to be done, guys. It's no other way around it. Kirk Cousins, and then when you listen to him in the press conference, he didn't know where he couldn't explain it himself, right? Usually, I looked at this was happening. You can kind of digest what you're seeing on the field, what kind of happened. But from Raheem Morris to Zach Robinson to Kirk Cousins, they couldn't explain it, and so he had no choice to make this move. Right now, we later on in the show, I'm gonna talk about the future and what that means, for a salary cap and things like that. But this had to be made, and it's just is what it is. Kirk Cousins, over 3,500 yards, 18 TDs, 16 interceptions, leads the league in turnovers with those 16 interceptions, and he has like 3 or 4 fumbles. He actually had more fumbles that he actually we didn't lose, but it seemed like he couldn't hold on the ball at all. I mean, this is worse than what Desmond Ridder did last year, and that's really hard to say, but it is. And if you contrast that to what Kirk Cousins did in just 8 games with the Minnesota Vikings. Last year before he tore his Achilles, he had 18 touchdowns last year in only 8 games with only 5 interceptions. So that's the contrast, right? So the guy that they thought they was getting, guy that was in the MVP hunt in those first 8 weeks of last season before he went down, to the guy that we're looking at right now is not the same guy, and it definitely shows that, and that's why they had to make this change. It had to happen. There's no other way around it. That's why the Atlanta Falcons had to make this change. Look at some of these comments out here. We got, I think the injury to Kurt made him hit a wall, almost rookie. Hit a wall, ran up the juice. Yeah, he looked like a rookie. Matter of fact, the way they played him, they coached him on Monday Night Football, coached him like he was a rookie, man. Like they only let him throw the ball 17 times, and I think that was smart because I think he would have put the ball in harm's way even more than he did in that Monday night game. I saw the analysis saying Kurt full body throw and not just the thrower. Maybe injury caught up with him. Maybe it did. Maybe he went and got the payday for the last time, and he wasn't honest with nobody, himself included. So, and then maybe that's what it is. Michael says they might tank because they have the #1 pick. When the Raiders get Shador, was helping the neighbors this weekend. Yes. So yeah, so we got an opportunity. Talking about the game this weekend. I'm not going to do no keys, man, because guess what? The Atlanta Falcons need to win all 3 games, no matter what. If they want a chance, so it's just that simple. They gotta win these last 3 games. If they don't win these last 3 games, it does not matter. So there's no need to put down what the keys need to win. It's just to win, right? That's as simple as that. Trey Coop said Pitts equal trash. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to defend Kyle Pitts at this point. We're just going to see, how he played with Michael Penix. That's just it is. He got his 5-year option picked up, so he does have one more season with the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe, they decide to put him in the trade package or something like that. Maybe they try to put him in the trade package. Like I said, facts, we just need to win no matter what. Exactly. That's where we're at now. The Atlanta Falcons want to get in the playoffs. They need to win the game. He said, this is perfect time for Michael Penix to start, get some confidence. Exactly, right? Even, this point of the season when you got 3 games left, it's definitely going to be disappointing if the Falcons do not get in the playoffs. I won't argue that. I would think for Raheem Morris, I think it's a failed season for him, right? I think he had the team to do it, to get in. I think, starting off 6-3, with a 2-game lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Atlanta Falcons was right there. It was there for the taking. So I feel like if we don't get in, yes, this probably was a failed season for Raheem Morris. But moving forward, these 3 games is going to be huge for Michael Penix. This is his era. It started now. He's supposed to be the future of the league. So get him these 3 reps against pressure moments as well, because like I said, until if we went out, we won't know nothing to the last game of the season. That's just how it'll be, right? So that's what we got to do, right? We keep winning, and then the last week of the season, see what the chips lay. But you got to keep winning games, and this is going to be huge for Michael Penix. I think it's a win-win situation for them. If he plays well and get in the playoffs, yes, we will love that. We'll get a host of a playoff game where we can win our division. But just getting those reps, like you said, is going to be really, really good. So I can't wait for this weekend. I know the fan base is probably feeling more rejuvenated, especially from what we've seen on Monday night. Because going out there on social media, I know everybody was like, man, this just pathetic. It was sad. And to be honest with you, I've been silent for 3 weeks anyway because it was so pathetic. I had nothing good to say. I'll just be honest with you guys. I didn't want to come over here. I didn't want to come out here and and bullshit you guys. They just have nothing to say. They played like crap, and I ain't have nothing to say, man. I was like, when I'm gonna get on there, I can't say anything. Like I couldn't say nothing positive. Anything that I would have said would it was just terrible. You guys seen it, so that's why. That's why. Um, Kevin says try some deep throws against a soft defense. Oh, I can promise you this. If you go back and watch Michael Penix play, that's what he do. If they don't throw no deep balls, like they cheating us out the game on Sunday. He need to let that thing go. That arm he has, that's his strength. Throwing the ball deep. Darnell Mooney, I hope he stretch out those those quads and things like that, because you're going to get some opportunities, brother. I can promise you that. Kyle Pitts, we want to see what you made of this week, right? You use that 4.4 speed you got to get up the seam. Michael Penix can throw that rock, man, and he's going to let it rip. So hopefully they open it up a little bit and let him do his thing. So I hope they throw some deep things. I'm a huge Dallas fan this weekend. Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. I don't like the Cowboys, but believe it or not, I agree. I'm rooting for the Cowboys this weekend. I am rooting for the Cowboys this weekend. I am rooting for the Cowboys this weekend. Michael said Pitts is fine. He's just frustrated. Pitts run lazy routes and is going through the motion half of the time. We're gonna find out, man. It's not his career is not written yet. It's not closed yet. So I can't argue with you saying though. We just need to see better. We see better quarterback play. Maybe we'll get a different result. The thing about Kirk Cousins, right? If you take away the 2 Tampa Bay games that Kirk Cousins played, he didn't have a really good season. Looking at the numbers, that's just a. I mean, he played lights out against Tampa, right? Right now that might be our saving grace because we beat them twice, right? He played lights out against Tampa Bay, and that might just get us in the playoffs. But if you take away those 2 games, against Tampa Bay, Kirk Cousins didn't play that well. He made some throws every now and then in games, but for the most part, man, he looked like I said, he looked confused. He looked like hesitant, and he looked like the confidence is just gone. That's what it looked like most of the time. You're looking at a guy like Kirk Cousins. I don't think you're going to see any of that in Michael Penix. Yes, Michael Penix is going to make mistakes, man. He's a rookie, right? Getting your first start in NFL, he's going to get baited. That's what happens. You think you see something, and you let it rip, and then, so I don't expect, a no turnover game or something like that. You might see a couple of turnovers in this game. But I believe his confidence is not going to be weighing from that. I believe he's going to go out and he's going to let it rip. And that's what we need to see. Usually in quarterback throws, they forget about that and go back out there. It seemed like Kirk Cousins started to think too much about the mistakes, and it was too hesitant to let the ball go. And for me, I think that's what we're really ruining it for in the end. Kevin says the whole team been going through the motions lately. Now that I'll be honest with you, that defense been balling, man. I'm impressed by the defense. Defense, they had 9 sacks about 3 weeks ago. They got 23 sacks right now. So you got to tip your head off to how the defense been playing. They turned it around a lot. That's what I love to see. So that's what I like. He said, I think all phases been going to get a shot in the arm this weekend. Hopefully. But the defense, the crazy part about that game on Monday night, defense played well except the last 2 drives. I don't know what the hell Jimmy Lake started to do the last 2 drives. That was just retarded defensive play calling. Those last 2 drives to get the Raiders back in the game. But defense played well for the most part of that game. The special teams played lights out. That offensive line in the running game was dominating. It was just a quarterback play that really, and it was so obvious that was holding the team back on Monday night was the way the quarterback was playing. So, um, that's just it, man. That's just it. So the defense been balling. Yes, they have, man. You know, let's tip our head off to D'Angelo Malone, right? They started to put him in and incorporate him into. He got to get his opportunity, and man, he's starting to live up to that, showing that motor he had when he was at Western Kentucky. So, it don't matter where you come from, you just need the opportunity. And D'Angelo Malone, you know, I thought he was going to be one of the ones that did not make the cut, man. And I'm glad they decided to keep him because of what he was doing on special teams. And now he's definitely contributing really, really well on the defensive side of the ball. He got him 2 sacks on Monday night. So let's see, can he continue? Armor Ebiketie starting to look a whole lot better as well. So, I love these young guys. I still think the Atlanta Falcons need to go out and get a pass rusher, but you gotta love what you've seen from Armor Ebiketie or D'Angelo Malone, the way they've been playing these last couple of seasons. I mean, last couple of weeks. Kondo, what can you expect from MVP going to ease or let it fly? I think they're gonna let it fly, man. I really do. I think that's his game. That's his game. I mean, the kid is accurate. He's got a cannon, and if you're not going to take advantage of those attributes, why put him out there? Right? You're going to see him move, um, and you got to take some shots. You got to keep the defense honest, right? Um, that's what you got to do. And with him, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to take some shots down the field. Like I said, Darnell Mooney. You might even see a guy like Chris Blair be activated because Cardell Hodge, um, you know, um, showing that he did not practice day with those ribs. So you don't know. So we'll see get an opportunity to see some of these guys, um, get an opportunity just like Michael Penix. But I think they're gonna let it rip. I really do. I really, really believe they're gonna let Michael Penix throw that throw that ball down the field. So so guys, this is the story of the week. All eyes going to be on the Atlanta Falcons, even though they're playing the New York Giants. All eyes going to be on the rookie quarterback to see what he can do. The number 8th overall pick in the draft. It's his team now. It's his team to take the Atlanta Falcons, in the future. That's what's the plan. It just got sped up, you know, big time. The way they did not want it to happen, but that's where we're at. Um, we got a left-handed black quarterback in Atlanta, guys. Last time we had that, it was electric. So let's see what Michael Penix can do. One of his favorite players is Michael Vick, and let's say congratulations to Michael Vick too, becoming the head coach of the Norfolk State football team. He's up there in Newport News, right by right there where he's from. He's at home. Hopefully he can have a successful career. So let's see what he able to do. You said what's the score? Um, let's see the score for this game. I'm gonna say 28-14. 28-14 Falcons. I'm feeling Michael Penix, man. 28-14 Falcons. I think we got that much talent on the team. I just do. I believe we have that much talent on the team for the Atlanta Falcons to be able to do some of the good things like that. Um, so that's what I believe. So, guys, we've talked about it a little bit. So let's talk about the playoff picture here. So the Atlanta Falcons actually have 2 ways to get into the playoffs, right? Um, of course, the easiest way is to win out and Tampa to lose one game. If that happens, the Atlanta Falcons will win the NFC South. They'll be hosting a playoff game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Um, so that's what we're hoping. We just hope the Atlanta Falcons can find a way to get in, and we got to root for our teams that we don't like to beat them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got to root for the Cowboys, you got to root for those Aints, or root for those Panthers, to you know pull off some kind of upset. That can happen. The Atlanta Falcons went out, they're in, right? Another way, the Washington Commanders right now hold that seventh spot. Um, they play the Philadelphia Eagles this week. If the Philadelphia Eagles beat them, that game next weekend, next Sunday night, because we got a flex game. We on prime time again. The Atlanta Falcons on prime time again. So that that Sunday night game, if the Commanders lose to the Eagles this weekend, the Falcons beat the Giants like we should this weekend, right? That game is going to be really huge for both teams on Sunday Night Football. And if the Atlanta Falcons can beat the Commanders, that's another avenue for them to get in. Now we still got to worry about the Seattle Seahawks, those teams that's creeping up um, right behind the Commanders there. The Rams are starting to come on, right? You got the Seattle Seahawks right there, the Arizona Cardinals. All those teams still in the hunt as well, but the Atlanta Falcons could win that game against the Commanders. That's another opportunity to get in as a wild card as well. So those are opportunities they can have. So if the Bucks don't lose anymore this year, they went out. Atlanta Falcons went out, and we can beat the Commanders. And we have some slippery on some other teams. So Atlanta Falcons do have a way to get in, not just the NFC South. At first, I thought the NFC South, but come to find out that that win on Monday night was really huge for us. So we do have opportunity to still get in another way. Hopefully we can win the division. We'll have to worry about being the 7th seed, going to play the number 2 seed right now, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, which we already beat this year, but that's a different team than we played the second week of the season. So that would be really tough for us. So um, let's see how this thing goes out. Samuel Davis says hopefully he might give us a boost. He should, man. Like I said, the kid has got youth. He's got enthusiasm. Um, he's calm, cool, collective. He has the confidence that you want in your starting quarterback. What I think Kirk Cousins lost tremendously over these last 5 games. You're right. He should give us a boost. So that's where it's at. And one thing about this playoff picture, guys, all Atlanta Falcons, they don't control their own destiny. We do understand that. We need help, but at the same time, they just need to win, right? That's the answer. Just win out, leave yourself in a good note. The Atlanta can get to 10 wins. Yes, it'll be really disappointing that they squandered, getting into the playoffs, but they get to 10 wins. That would be a good season for Raheem Morris in his first year, right? That's what you want to see. So let's see we could win. We lost 4 straight. Let's see can we win 4 straight, and that's what would be really really good. Kevin says hopefully we see some bootlegs and play action. I'm pretty sure you will see some of those, right? They're gonna definitely change Michael Penix launch points a lot. Get him some easy throws when you do play action and bootlegs and things like that. Unfortunately, I don't think Kurt was able to do it like he had done in the past, right? And like I said, this is where if he could do it, being a 14-year vet, he'd be like, hey, call some of that stuff because that's what I'm really good at, right? You have to say so when you're putting a game plan, especially when you've been in the league that long. So that's why, obviously, to me, I don't think he was able to move like that. So you definitely should see more bootlegs and play action passes. I do anticipate that. So guys, that's the playoff picture, guys. Let's see can Atlanta Falcons get in. Getting to 10 wins will still be great though. That should be their focus, but they need to do it one game at a time, right? So guys, the last thing I want to talk about today, which is really where when I talked about the Atlanta Falcons definitely did not want to make this move right now, right? They did not want to put Michael Penix in this early in their plan, right? Let's just go back until April where everybody was upset that they drafted Michael Penix, including me, right? Just to understand, you just signed a quarterback to a $180 million contract. Michael Penix, you did not need a quarterback. You got your quarterback right now, right? They decided they needed to get a quarterback for the future. They had a bridge quarterback in tow, and he was going to play for a couple of years. The contract was set up that way to make it seem that that's exactly what the plan was, right? But this is the NFL. Your production, your play on the field determines all those things, and so this is not what the Atlanta Falcons wanted to do, right? I don't think the front office screwed up or anything like that because the plan was the plan, right? Nobody expected Kirk Cousins to come out and play worse than Desmond Ritter in these last 5 games. It just didn't. But that was the case, so they had to make the move, and that's where we're at. So, but moving forward, we think about the future. Like I said, like the title says, the Michael Penix era has started. There is no going back to Kirk Cousins. It's just not. You won't do that. You got the future here. That's why he was brought here to be the future. They just started it early. So what that means, right? They have decisions to make this off season, right? Um, do they cut him? You know, salary cap I think will be 65 million dead cap. Um, like I said, he owes 27.5 million next year. So more than likely, if anything, the Atlanta Falcons probably will look for a trade, potentially to a team that needs quarterback. And there are some teams that need quarterback. Team that might want to take a veteran quarterback, a guy like Kirk Cousins. Now his last 5 games, is not a promising, play to put on film for other teams. But we'll have to see. Now, one caveat to this trade, talk is that Kirk Cousins does have a no trade clause, so can't be traded um, to any team. He has to decide and determine that the team that he wanted to be traded to. So that does, throw a little monkey wrench into the decision making for the Atlanta Falcons, front office and the coaching staff. So we'll have to see moving forward what this means. But for the Atlanta Falcons as the team itself, it's Michael Penix's team now. For him to try to lead this team, it's the future is now. The future is him, and that's where we're at, right? It's going to be some cap implications. We'll definitely, during our season, we'll definitely get into those. Um, but we got some veterans that could be on their way out. Guys like a Grady Jarrett, who has no more guaranteed money after this season. So we'll see what they decide to do with him. They did draft 2 defensive tackles in the draft, and Rook, you know, um, so we'll see what they decide to do. Um, this is huge, right? I know a lot of people say, well, they screwed Pooch because they paid his quarterback. Now he's not starting anymore. But like I said, it's about your play. You shouldn't get on the field because how much money you make. It's because the production and the play that you put out there on tape, and that's just the nature of the beast. We've seen things like this before. We've seen the Seattle Seahawks, sign Matt Flynn to a contract. It was only for like $10 million, and that was the market back then at that time. But they drafted Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson beat him out in camp. Right? We've seen things like this, so this is not out of the ordinary for guys, not to live up to what you thought the case was going to be. But at this point, it was all Kirk Cousins. He did it to himself. It's nobody to blame but him, right? It was his play that pretty much ended his time here in Atlanta, and so the future is now. It's Michael Penix's time. Um, we need to rally behind him. He's definitely going to have growing pains because he is a rookie. One thing about Michael Penix, he did play like 45 games in college. So, now that doesn't mean anything because we were saying the same thing about Desmond Ritter, all the games he played in college, right? But at the same time, Michael Penix, was a Heisman runner-up. He played in the college football national championship game. You see the arm talent there. You see his charisma, his poise, the way he's able to navigate the pocket. You see all the good things. The reason why the Atlanta Falcons took him number 8 overall. Now we just need to see how fast he can translate all those things and you know, put a winning team out there week in and week out, right? You would hope you would see something like a Patrick Mahomes, right? Um, Patrick Mahomes played the last game of the season, and then have not been to a AFC Championship game since. Just think about that. Patrick Mahomes has his whole career he's been playing in AFC Championship games. That's just simply amazing. Um, and you know, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Michael Penix, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen because we've seen it before, right? We've seen a guy that put up similar numbers in college, um, and Patrick Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech to what Michael Penix did, right? Only two players to throw over almost 5,000 yards, back-to-back seasons, and that's Patrick Mahomes and Michael Penix Jr. So you have some there. Some I'm not comparing Michael Penix to Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying that guys with a rocket arm like that love to throw the ball down the field, you know, if you put him in the right situation, around a lot of talent, which Michael Penix is definitely around a lot of talent, he has opportunity. We don't know what's going to happen. We just got to wait to see. But it's his time now. It's the future here. That's it. Um, Definitely going to be cap implications moving forward for roster building and things like that. Um, the draft is going to have to be really huge for the Atlanta Falcons. Remember, they don't only have, I think, only got like 4 picks because the fine and the trades they made and things like that. So they got to really, really hit hit it out the box this year in the draft, and then making the moves around the edges in free agency because of this Kirk Cousins deal. But we'll have to see. Look at the cap, how much the cap goes up this year, how much cap space the Atlanta Falcons gonna have, all those things. And maybe they can get a trade to get some of this cap space off. With Kirk Cousins, we just don't know. But guys, that's what the future holds. We have to see. Um, Michael Penix is here, right? Let's see what this young man gonna do. I know the stadium is gonna be electric this weekend. I know it is. I can't wait because everybody was waiting for this moment to see. We know Michael Penix is gonna be juiced up, adrenaline gonna be pumping. His first pass might go 10 yards past this receiver because he's gonna be so juiced, right? But that's good, right? Because we know he ready to play that thing. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. The Atlanta Falcons is still in it, going into January. That's all you can ask for from any franchise. This is the National Football League. You still have opportunity. Yes, you don't have your own destiny, completely in your hands right now. But at the same time, the time is now. It's going to be good reps for Michael Penix Jr. It's going to be a good opportunity for Raheem Morris. You know, first stint back, as a head coach again to rally this team, you know, to finish strong down the end of the season. So I can't wait to see what happens. I know you guys can't wait. Um, let's see what Michael Penix can do. The future is here. It's now, and I know you guys are just as excited I am to see what he's going to be able to do. Um, you do need to caution yourself because he's a rookie, right? So he's not going to come out and he's not going to be, you know, flawless out there. It's not going to happen. This is the National Football League. Um, so I don't expect him to be flawless, but I do expect him to play well. And I do expect him to open up the offense more than what Kirk was able to do, especially these last 5 games of the season. So that's going to be really huge for us. Huge for us. Last comment here, Kevin said, if the left hand passer makes up time and compare to right hand for wide receivers. You know what? I'm just tell you what B. John said today when asked about that. He said it don't matter. You got to catch the ball. So they got to figure that thing out, man. We'll definitely see. I can tell you, Roddy White had a lot of hard time catching Michael Vick passes then you see what he was able to do with a guy like Matt Ryan. So that ball gonna come on them fast. I can promise you that. It's gonna come like a bullet. They gotta better be ready to catch it. So we're gonna see. But man, he throw one of the prettiest deep balls that you can ever see. He really do. Um, I might say his deep ball might even be better than Russell Wilson's deep ball. Russell Wilson throw one of the best deep balls, in NFL history. But Michael Penix, he's not been in NFL yet. He haven't thrown a whole bunch of deep balls in NFL. But if you look at what he was able to do in college, man, that guy throws one of the best deep balls and is accurate as hell as well. So hopefully we get to see some of that on Sunday. Hopefully we get to see that throughout his career here in Atlanta. And hopefully the Atlanta Falcons have finally fixed the quarterback position. The time is now. We wasn't gonna know for a while, but now, guys, it's time for us to find out and see what it's all about. So let's see what these people can do. Let's see what they can do. Kevin, I'm happy to be back, man. I'm telling you, man. I know the things say real Falcon fan, and I am, but I was just so pissed at this team that I just didn't want to come out here and waste my time talking about them. That's just the honest truth about it. But I think I had to come back out here to get back in the flow of things. Win or lose, I need to be out here, putting my thoughts out here, let you guys, give your thoughts as well, so we can heal together if we losing, and we can celebrate if we win. Right? That's what it's going to be all about. So, guys, that's all I have today. Thank you guys for tuning in to Ricondo, a real Falcon fan. And like I said, please share, like, subscribe, all those good things. Please put your comments below what you think about, the Michael Penix new era. What you think about the decision. Do you think it was the right decision or not? What you think about this playoff push that the Atlanta Falcons got to do starting on Sunday with the New York Giants? And then what you think about the future for this team? Did they set themselves back, by going out and signing Kirk Cousins and then having to deviate from the plan so early that they, really thought out. I thought they thought it out really well what Trump was trying to do, but it just didn't ponder out. So, guys, that's all I have it. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.